7.4. Here's the first part you need. You need to be fact set if you're online at home. Okay. Find the slope of the line. Okay. Alright, we already did this before. This is kind of a recap assignment. So find the slope. Remember, the slope of a line is a rise over the run. You got to know your starting point. Okay. So, your starting point, you start on the left. Not up, down, you start left. Whatever arrow's over here. Furthest where my thumb's at. Okay. Alright, so there's the first point. That's the starting point. Okay. Then, to get to that point, first I have to go up or down. Well, I'd have to go down. So, -1, -2, and I'm right across from it. Okay. So the rise is -2. The run, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, now you need to take a multiplication table and simplify it. Okay, so divide, divide. 2 and 4 are both in the second row, so we divide by 2, and that ends up being -1 over 2. M equals, okay. Next one, slope equals rise over run. Okay. So here's the arrow on this side. Okay. Remember, I always start with the arrow on this side. I don't care if it goes up or down. So arrow on this side. There we go. There's the first point. That's the starter point. And I think I'm gonna have to go up. Okay, until I'm straight across. So +1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is the rise. It's positive. You can put +4 or just 4. Now run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 4 over 9. Now to divide that, where's 4? There's no 9. 4, no 9. 4 and 9 is only in the first row together, so I can divide by 1, which would keep it 4/9. So M equals 4/9. Okay, now we're going to find the slope without graphing, okay, without the graph. So that is where the y minus y, x minus x comes into play. So xy, xy. Now to find your starter point, you look at your x coordinates. That's the bigger one. So send 4 to the bottom because x is to the bottom, -1 to the top. Send 1 to the bottom, 3 to the top. Plus negative, plus negative. So that's going to be -4. And 4 plus -1 is 3. Now try to simplify it. Not by dividing it, by reducing it. So 4 and 3 are both in the first row. That's the only row. So M is -4 over 3. I'm finding the same thing I found on the graph, just without actually seeing the graph. Okay, so y minus y, x minus x. So compare the x's, 2 and 3. 3's higher, okay? So y, -8 on top, 3 on bottom. Y, x, okay? Then 1 on top, 2 on bottom. So plus negative, plus negative. So -8 plus -1 is -9. 3 plus -1 is 1, okay? You can divide, but I think the only row 1's even in is 1. 9's there, but dividing by 1 really doesn't do anything, okay? So it's -9 over 1. Okay, I'm going to do another round of those. Find the slope of the line, okay? So where's the starter point? You start with the arrow on this side. Right there's the starter point. So it's rise over run. So I'd have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So +6. +6. Then the rise, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think if I can find a row where 6 and 4 are both in other than 1, I think it's the second row, 2, so you reduce them by 2. So it's 3 over 2. That's the slope of that line, okay? See, because here, up 3 over 2, oh, there's my line. Up 3 over 2, there's my line. Up 3 over 2, there's a line. I'm not very good at drawing it, but that's the slope, okay? Okay, then back to the coordinates. So x, y, y minus y, x minus x. Okay, let's talk about the y's, okay, or the x's. Underline them. If I compare -3 to 1, 1's much bigger, okay? So you send 1 to the bottom, 2 to the top. You send -3 to the bottom, 3 to the top. Plus negative, plus plus. So 2 plus -3 is -1. 1 plus 3 is 4. The only place you're going to find 1 and 4 is in the first row. So you can divide them by 1, but again, we've seen that it doesn't change it. So that's what you have. Okay, next one, xy, y minus y, x minus x. Compare your x's, you have a +1 and -2, okay? So that's your higher one. So you send 1 to the bottom, -2 to the top, and then -2 to the bottom, 3 to the top. Let me again emphasize why you want to use the higher x as your starter. Okay, -5 over 3. I want a positive on bottom. Okay, so if I start with a higher number before I subtract, I'll end up with a positive. Okay, so 5 and 3 are both in the first row. So divide by 1, and that would be -5 over 3. Okay, and then you got 4 to do. Okay, 2 graphs, and then one where you're applying the y minus y, x minus